Hey everyone, how's it going? Fireborn here, and I am bringing you guys a no major glitches any % tutorial. Finally, it's being made. So before we get into it, I'm going to show you guys a few options, and you should have watched my speedrunning setup tutorial already. It's on one of my YouTube videos and it shows you all the down patching and getting all the tools set up that you'll need, which is very important. So before we get into this, VSync off, particle effects low. You want, if you're using controller, make sure your quick cast is on a face button. Don't keep it on right bumper, that's a bad idea. And keyboard, just make sure your keys are in comfortable spots. Make sure quick cast is in a nice spot, because you're going to be using that a lot as opposed to focus cast. And make sure inventory is in a good spot as well, because we're going to be on 1221. We're going to be using inventory drops. So language, you want to actually go left twice, but if you click this left arrow, it's going to put you to the right. So you want to tap the arrow key instead. So left twice, you go left like this, you go right. Don't ask. So this is the language that we want. And with that said, let's get into the VS split. So, yeah, as soon as you load the game, you're going to get cutscenes. The timer doesn't start right away. The timer starts after the room loads. So once the room loads, that's when you can start mashing pause. You can mash A and X to get through this. That's what I always do. But once you start mashing pause, hold right. And then as soon as you see the game paused, you can start mashing to unpause. And then as soon as it unpauses, you'll have control of your character. As soon as you hit the right wall, start an inventory drop. So I'm going to show you that. And you want to close the inventory before you hit the ground. So let me show you this. Start mashing pause, unpause, inventory, close it before you hit the ground, and hold right. Okay. Now if you actually close inventory too soon, what happens is you get the hard fall. If you close it too late, then you'll be on the ground and you won't be moving right, so you're losing time. So the timing of the inventory drop closing actually matters quite a bit. So upslash these doors so you do not get any knockback. Then you want to take these jumps as tight as possible. We'll go this. And this is the first important part, so let me just reload this so we get a normal spawn position. So the thing is, these enemies have random spawn positions, and they also like randomly move around a little bit. So this guy's pretty far left. That means we have to jump down here. That guy also has a random spawn. Sometimes you'll need to pogo over him, sometimes you can sneak underneath him, sometimes you can like even upslash him as you jump. You just have to react to where they are. So this guy's far right, so I can go like this. And that's the fastest way to do it. That guy's far down, so I go for a pogo on him. Let me do this once more. Pretty far right, so let's go for that. We can sneak underneath him there. Okay. That's the idea behind that part. Okay, this is the soft fall. So let me save state. Let me show you this. Okay, that's not what we want, because hard falls lose a lot of time, so we're going to do this. That is not what I meant to do, but you can randomly get the soft fall. It's like 1 in 4. I don't go for that because it's not good odds, so I do this. Okay, now when you're on that ground and you let yourself fall normally, what happens is the game gives you the tag that you're going to get a hard fall. You can also just get a hard fall from distance, so based off the distance that you fall. But the thing is, you get an automatic hard fall when you just... What? Yeah, like that. I don't know why I didn't get a hard fall that time. Very confusing, but Hollow Knight can be like that sometimes. Anyway, what we do is we do a little mini hop. So if you tap A, you get like a minimum height jump. You can't jump any shorter than that. So that's what we do. Right before the ground breaks, we mini hop and we just land on this ledge so that we avoid falling too far that we get the normal hard fall. Funny how this game works sometimes. Anyway, that's the basic idea. And a way we optimize this is we go for an up slash. Now whenever we up slash the ceiling, it immediately stops our jump. So you see how there's a minimum height to this jump. We can actually lower that height by doing an up slash before we reach that minimum height. Okay, does that make sense? So we go like this, and that's when you mess it up. I find it's kind of hard to do that, but you can try it if you want, and if it works for you, then go for it. Here we're going to get to this part, just take those jumps tightly. We hit this twice, and on the third hit, we go for a pogo. So as we go through it, pogo. We're not actually pogoing, we're just down slashing. But the point is that if you go for a side slash, sometimes that happens and you get a bit of knockback and it just loses you a couple frames. So I go for a pogo here always. Okay, so this door we have to hit it a bunch of times. Just keep a good tempo. And that's all that matters. That's how you do a good King's Pass. Okay, so this, we're gonna do a super tiny inventory drop. The only reason why we're doing an inventory drop is to avoid the hard fall. We're not trying to fall faster because our objective here, if you think about it, is just to go right. So we do the inventory drop just as short as possible. We close the inventory as soon as we can. I do 2 inputs to close it. In case I do the first input too soon and it doesn't register, there's a second input right after that will close it. Just like that, okay? I use keyboard just because I find it a bit easier for some reason. So once we get into Dirtmouth, I start jumping when I get to this foreground object. And you do full jumps, just buffer a jump as soon as you hit the ground. Any frames that you spent walking is lost time, so buffer your jumps, which just means queuing them up so that you input before you land on the ground and your jump will be queued. So as soon as you hit the ground, you'll jump. So once I get to this spot, I walk off and then I do a full jump. This is a pre-jump, so the idea is that before we get to this transition, we're building up speed by jumping. Okay, you see I'm building up speed. Then we fall quickly into that transition. It saves like 1/4 of a second, which is a significant amount of time. Pre-jumping is very useful. Okay, now we're at the Aspid Drop, or the Gruz Drop, whatever. That's the right drop. You can see sometimes you just get hit. You just need to go back into the fall, just move back into it, and then open inventory again. And you just have to kind of accept the time loss. Okay, now we do a pre-jump. As soon as you get to this part right here, you can jump. Just do a full jump. Now let me show you mid-drop. Okay, so I always do this pre-jump here. Let me show you. That's the pre-jump. And as soon as I get to that point, I pogo here because sometimes a Gruz will be flying and you'll just land on it and it'll knock you to the right, and you do not want that. So once we get to here, we're gonna start our inventory drop. And one thing you'll notice is I got hit. So if you get hit in mid-drop, you're in a lot of trouble because this guy is going to be in the way. So if you just do an inventory drop normally, you'll land on this guy. So I'm gonna show you what you can do about that. You can also land on this guy as well. So mid-drop is a bit more dangerous, but I find it more consistent once you know what you're doing. So it's your choice whether you want to learn it right away or if you want to wait a bit. So I'm gonna go like that. Now you can see I avoided those tick-ticks by going all the way to the left before opening my inventory. And the way you do that is you touch one of these platforms and then you open inventory. So normally if you try to like just tap and go to the left while you're in the air, it doesn't work out because it's pretty precise. So you just do it by moving into one of these platforms, and then as soon as you touch them, open your inventory. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, this room actually has something that you want to avoid in it. So let me show you. Do not do this, because if you open your inventory after falling through a downwards transition, you'll get inventory storage, and this is a major glitch. So it saves a bit of time to do this because you have inventory open and you can still move to the right, but it is against the rules. So you want to avoid this. We do pre-hop, mini-hop, mini-hop, and we do the mini-hops just to avoid, like if you just walk off, you'll touch that platform for a moment and it just stops your right movement for a couple frames. So just mini-hop, don't land on this platform. That's what you want to avoid. And then 2 little mini-hops. Okay. We're gonna spend a bit of time in this room. Sometimes this AI doesn't cooperate, so it might take me some time to explain this. I apologize in advance. So this is the basic main idea. I'm gonna explain all the elements of what's going on in a moment. Okay. That's the Aspid Arena. There's a lot of different strats we can use, but here's the basic idea, okay? So generally we want to pogo this guy 3 times. Sometimes he'll be too low to the ground, and if we pogo him, he'll get stuck down here. And that means we'll have to fall a little bit between each pogo that we do. We don't want that because falling loses time. It's just time in between each swing. So sometimes if we think he's going to get stuck down here, we just go for up slashes instead. And I'm going to show you. That's the up slash strat. Now let me show you this, okay? Now we're going to be pogoing these guys. And the idea here is that flying AI works when they're close to you, they move away. When they're far away from you, they move towards you. Okay? So by standing here, this guy moves away and this guy moves towards, and then they stack up. Okay? Now we also want to be jumping above this guy so that he moves away and down so that they stack up really well. So let me show you. It didn't work because I paused. I wasn't above him as I should have been. So this time I go for pogos because I know that when I'm to the left of him, he's going to move to the right, and that'll put him above this platform. So if we're pogoing him and he's touching this platform, he's not going to get knocked down. So we don't have to follow him downwards and lose time in between each swing falling. Okay. This is the idea. And I did a little mini hop above this geo. Don't do that. I just missed a bunch of geo for no reason. Geo collection in this room is actually quite important. Okay, so let's take a look at this for a second. Our path when we're leaving the room is probably going to be falling down here and then walking out. Okay, so there's a couple places where geo might land where we can't collect it on that path. Okay, so for example, in this little corner, sometimes to the left over here, and on this platform. So any geo that we can easily collect without losing time before the second wave of Aspid spawn is what we should go for. Don't bother collecting geo like this one, because we're going to get it on our way out no matter what. And I just missed one. That's because I was pausing. Oops. And you can see that right slash knocked me down here, so you might want to up slash there. Okay, but that's the basic idea. You don't have to learn double spike kill right away, but I'm going to show you it. Okay, so I collect all this geo on the platform. Oh. See, this is why the room is a bit difficult to explain, because sometimes you just catastrophically mess up. And I'm going to show you my spike kill in a moment, but that's the double spike kill. Now, the key with the spike kill is it's all you have to do is you hit the spike as soon as it spawns. So you spawn it by jumping in within the box where it triggers, which is up here, and then you just need to jump as soon as you hit this platform, and then hit the spike as soon as it spawns. If you hit the spike the frame that it spawns before the aspids start moving, you'll always get the double spike kill, pretty much. We always wait until we see the aspid spawn, like so. And I messed it up by pausing, because you can't act for a moment after pausing. but you need to react to the aspids spawning. You can't just guess when they spawn because they have random spawn times. This is what we're trying to avoid, and you see I collect the geo in that corner always. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the backup for the single spike kill, because that's really important as well. You might just need to, like, the thing is you can't just react to the best possible scenario. You have to think about what you're going to do when the spike kill fails as well, because it will a lot. Okay, so you might need to rewind, but something you'll notice is that the Aspid, it flew all the way out here. The movement of it is kind of randomized, so when it flies all the way out here, you do the spike kill, you react to where the rightmost Aspid is. Sometimes he'll be like under this platform, sometimes he'll be to the left. If he's to the left, what you do is what I just did, the 3 right slashes. And the reason why you do that is because it's fast, and you push him rightwards so that his geo, you see his geo is just like this, it's all the way to the right, so you can pick up all this geo. And that's really important. Sometimes he's underneath this platform still. In that case, you go for a pogo and 2 right slashes, normally. Sometimes you can also go for 2 pogos. You can even go for 3 pogos, but the point is, you're aiming to get the 3 right slashes, and you do that if he's far enough left. If he's to the middle, and you go for 3 right slashes, he'll be too far right on the last slash. So then you'll just whiff, you'll have to chase him. You don't want that. Okay. Let me see if I can show you this one more time, because this is actually really important to know. That's basically a way that you would kill them as a backup, but I missed the spike kills. There was 2 of them. Let me try to show you this. Okay, and that's what you do if he's not far left enough. You can see he was still under the platform, so I was like, okay, I need to go for a pogo. If I do 3 right slashes, he's going to be too far away for me to kill. Okay, now I'm going to show you the Conra double spike. So the way I do it is I line myself up with this post in the background. See this one right here? I stand so I'm on the center of it. Then as soon as I see the Aspid spawn, all I do is I hold left and A at the same time, and I just let myself reach the apex of my jump. I let go of A, and then I land on the platform and I buffer a jump, and then I hit the spike. The reason why I find this a bit easier is because I don't need to think about when to let go of A. When I jump from here, I need to land on this platform, and I need to let go of A at a pretty precise time. When you're just holding A, you reach your maximum jump height, you can let go of A at any point when you're falling. I just find it a little bit easier. You can see I paused, so that kind of messed up the timing, but let me show you it continuously. Okay. There are a couple of reasons why this is easier. That's one of them is what I just explained, but also if you're a little bit late, sometimes the Aspids move a bit, and just being in this position forces the flying AI to move in such a way that they'll get hit by the spike, essentially. Because like I explained, the way that they move is based off how the distance to you. They'll either move away or towards you, and just being here makes them fly into a nice spot. Okay, so I find that a lot easier. It does lose a bit of time because you have to jump from farther away to reach the spike after you react to them spawning. Okay, but I think that should be all the explanation we need, so I'm just gonna move on. But you can see I'm a lot more consistent with that. You might find it different. Anyway, so let's note this grass in the background just before we get into this. So you want to go, as soon as you touch the grass, jump, 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 pogo, pogo, That's the room. Okay, so you use the grass as a visual cue. As soon as you touch it, jump. Then jump. Pogo. You just hold right the entire time. Okay? So just touch the grass. Then jump as soon as you hit the ground. And you don't need to think about when to let go of jump. You can see this Vengeful was very close to hitting me. Sometimes he'll be in the way. You need to jump over him. And then you pogo him, and then you land where I just was. So let me show you this one more time. Jump as soon as you touch the grass. Jump, jump. Pogo. So if this guy's too close to the spikes and you think he's gonna hit you, just jump over him and pogo him. This room is really straightforward. There's not really much to this. We just go through it. I'm gonna be explaining statue pogo next. Now, you don't have to do statue pogo, it saves a quarter of a second. If you're losing time to it consistently, then don't worry about it. I didn't learn it until like 2018. That's the idea. So let me show you it one more time. You get to this point. You jump here, and then you just... Your positioning here doesn't matter too much. You can be all the way to the left next to the platform, as long as you pogo at the apex of your jump, and then hold right just a moment after you pogo. That's what I always do. That guy was in the way because I paused. I'm pausing so much. Then you want to take those jumps afterwards as tightly as you can. That's statue pogo. It's not super precise when you pogo, it's more about when you start holding right, okay? Just remember that. But of course you want to pogo at the apex of your jump. It's just not precise because the apex of your jump like lasts for a while because you start slowing your your acceleration upwards starts slowing, and then you are like stuck in the air for a moment. Yeah. So let me show you the normal strat. That's not it. But the idea is that you jump before the tick tick, and strat is impossible. What the hell? Let me just turn on infinite health. So I guess it used to work in the past because I got to the tick tick a bit slower, but the idea is you jump before him, and then 90% of the time the Vengeful will not move like that, and you just pogo the Vengeful. Like that. I don't know why that took me 4 tries. It's very easy, trust me. You can also just jump over the tick tick like this, but that's quite a bit slower. It's up to you. Just do what you're comfortable with, because honestly this is a minor, very minor time save. People tend to focus a bit too much on this split. You're talking about like quarter of a second time saves. Don't worry about it too much. Okay. You can see how I moved through this part. This part is noteworthy because there are a couple things that can go wrong here. Okay. So in this case, these two guys are stacked. You can't go underneath them. You have to jump up to the top and pogo this guy as he jumps at you. This guy you can just jump over. Just don't land in this corner because you're losing time. Okay. There is something I want to illustrate here. In that spot you also pogo that guy. The thing I'm going to show you... Okay, so this is important in 2 different ways. This guy's going to attack. If I just jump over him, I'm probably going to land on him, so I jump up to the top here, and then I pogo him to make sure I stop my fall, okay? This guy's also pretty far to the right. Now, this guy jumps. Sometimes he'll touch this wall or the ceiling. And when he does that, it stops your jump. As soon as he touches the wall, your jump stops. So you might be jumping, he touches the wall, you stop, and you just start falling. It's the weirdest glitch, but you have to be careful because sometimes he'll jump and touch a wall, and you'll be jumping over the next husk, and you'll just land on top of him. It didn't even happen there. It usually happens though, so just be careful of that. Pogo. Then you can just walk underneath the skinny guy. And yeah, that's that little spot. So this is the false night room. Again, don't worry about these minute optimizations. If you get hit, it's not the biggest, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't really matter until you're going for a really good time. So at this spot, there's a big rectangle here. You can touch it in the air or on the ground and you'll spawn false night. Sometimes you want to jump in the air to touch it, but also note that when you touch it, it might cancel your jump sometimes. So sometimes you'll be in the air and you start the false night fight and your jump gets canceled and you'll just land on a husk. So you have to jump up like that and then pogo one of them so that if he stops your jump, then you pogo so you're not just landing on them. So let me explain the false night quick kill. Oh, I forgot to save state, but there's a couple things. There's a lot of little things in this room. So let me save state here. So I'm gonna pogo this guy so I don't get hit. I missed, but these guys have rectangular aggro boxes. So you can actually jump over, and because I'm above this guy, he hasn't aggroed me. He hasn't attacked me. But I'm gonna land, I'm gonna pogo him to the left, so I'm gonna get into that aggro range, and he's going to attack to the left, so that he runs to the left, and then he dies because of false night, and then I get his geo. Okay, so like that, he attacks left, perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I messed up a little bit there, but that's the basic idea with the fight. So I'm going to jump over this guy. Hit them both attack left, that's good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, something you notice there is he jumped backwards. That's bad RNG. That doesn't matter too much. But on the 12th hit, I pogo him. So I'm in the air. For the 13th hit, normally he's going to be jumping away. And this is, I'm talking about when he jumps to the right. The fight is a bit different when he jumps to the left. So when he jumps to the right, on the 12th hit, you go for a pogo. And on the 13th hit, he's going to be in the air with you. He's either going to be jumping to the left or to the right. If he jumps to the left, you can see what happened there is he hit me and then it knocked me back, so I was still in the air and I just got a hit on him. If he jumps to the right, then you follow him in the air and you go for a right slash. Okay, that's the idea. So let me show you this. So I'm going to show you the exit. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the exit. I'm going to get into that a bit more momentarily, but I'm going to show you this fight first. So I'm going to try to show you the left quick kill. This is the easy one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. That was a bit awkward. I'm kind of rusty on this, so I forgot to pogo him. You get that guy to attack left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can see I jump between the 11th and 12th attack when he goes to the left. Okay, this is the regular quick kill when he jumps to the left. So between the 11th and 12th hit, I jump, and that means that I attack him again as I'm jumping, and then as I'm falling, I get my 13th hit. It doesn't matter too much when you jump, as long as you're in the air for the 13th hit. The reason why we want to be in the air is in case we're a little bit slow and he's jumping away as we're getting the 13th hit, we're just in the air so we can follow him a little bit. If we're on the ground and we go for the 13th hit and we're a little bit slow, he'll be jumping away, we'll just be on the ground and we'll whiff the hit. Okay, let's aggro him to the left. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's not between the 11th and 12th, it's as I do the 12th attack. Ooh, I accidentally aggroed him to the right. Oh, and there's something I forgot to mention. Sometimes if you hit him too early, actually always if you hit him too early after he spawns, the first hit won't make him flash. So normally enemies flash when you hit them, right? If you hit him too early, he doesn't flash, he doesn't take damage, and it doesn't count towards his stagger. So you want to wait a little bit. You want to like strategically wait before your first swing so that it doesn't get cancelled. It's just like a stupid glitch that happens. You have to wait a bit before you do your first hit. And if you know, if you're a beginner, you might not have to worry about that because you'll be a bit slower. That's okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, and that's when he jumps to the left, when he jumps right. I know that's kind of confusing, but you know what I mean, I'm sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See, I didn't go for the pogo strap because he did a super jump away. I just call it a super jump. That means you can't hit him at all as he's jumping away. You can actually get one hit if you're like super god gamer, but it's really hard, so if that happens, I'm super far behind on the cycle, and I just go underneath him and go for an up slash on the 12th hit. Let me show you this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let me collect this geo. Let me show you the exit now to this room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now let me show you the exit one more time. That's the exit that I do. You don't have to do that. And also if there's geo on the ground in front of the door, just up slash, because you want to collect the geo. You don't want to jump over it like I just would have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, that's the false knight quick kill. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can heal up if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. So before you do your third swing, the idea is you do 2 up slashes, jump, left slash, up slash, okay? That's the idea. And then we pogo that little barrel thing on the ground to avoid the hard fall. Okay, so this part is straightforward. Go for the slash there in between. And if you don't get it, that's okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't lose time. So we're going into here. I always switch to keyboard just for easier mashing, and I have jump, nil slash dash, and I mash those. So I get to here. This is where you want to start the text. Then at this point, jump. And that's the Vengeful Spirit split. That's about 35 minutes long, so you can see a lot goes into this. Don't worry too much about this split. People focus on it way too much, resetting to like 5 seconds of time loss. Don't do that. You probably have like 20 seconds, if not, 30, 40 seconds to save on, every single future split. Don't focus too much on Vengeful Spirit. It doesn't matter that much. But, keep these things in mind as you learn, just so you can figure things out properly. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Check the playlist in the description for the other videos that I'm making. Okay?